What is up, everybody? It's your old pal JGun, and today we have the Anvil Asgard, which, in my opinion, is kind of just Valkyrie gold standard. But I'm going to try and keep the saltiness to a minimum and just take a look at the ship and how awesome it is. With the Asgard, we have kind of, I think, a new daily driver. It can do everything: cargo, bounty hunting, all the cool things that you're going to want to do. So to start off with, let's actually get a comparison going here compared to the original Valkyrie, which clearly the Asgard is inspired by. So the Valkyrie had quite a bit of space in the back. You could put a few small ground vehicles in there. I was able to get a Fury in there, and so we're going to do a quick walk around the Fury, and we can see that it fits rather nicely. And as we get to the back here, we will transition to the Asgard. And you can see that, wow, there is so much more space. And somehow, without changing really the outside shape of the ship very much at all, they were able to carve out a lot more interior space. It's much taller and quite a bit wider. The Asgard's cargo grid holds 180 SCU, and there's this beautiful platform up top to look down on all of it. And all of that space is usable, not just for cargo, but for all your toys too. Here I am on the bottom deck of the Asgard, very similar to the Valkyrie, walking around, but we can see that it's smaller. They've made better use of the space. Instead of 20 drop seats, which of course would never ever get used, they've got just an engineering station and one seat on each side. We'll transition to the Valkyrie here to show you that. There's 10 seats on each side with no passage between. And honestly, that's just kind of crazy. I don't think Anvil wants another Cuddy Stool on their hands, so it's much better in the Asgard. So we'll go up the annoying ladder, which they kept. Of all the things they improved, they kept this super fucking annoying ladder. They should have just done some really aggressive steep stairs. But the bath in the Valkyrie, as you will see, is very similar to what they did with the Asgard. Now in the Valkyrie, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bunks. So I take it that's for 5 crew. And these 2 remote turret seats, which are completely gone in the Asgard. So Asgard, we're going to go to look at the bathroom, and it's the same bathroom. That's kind of just a copy paste. They took out the fire extinguisher. We turn around, and instead we have a much smaller bedroom with just 2 bunks. And I love that because having 5 bunks wasting a ton of space in the Valkyrie actually made no sense. And here, as we approach the front of the ship, we see the old had the 2 remote turret seats versus the new, which is just, this is more, microwave and cooktop. And then these cubbies for suits, except they're not finished yet. Like they don't have the glass covers or anything else like that. So let's go ahead and get off the ground and actually fire the weapons on this thing. So the pilot appears to have control over 6 Panther repeaters from his joystick, and they also seem to be firing at a much faster rate than I'm accustomed to. And I don't know if that's a change with the patch 4.1.1 or it's unique to this ship, but wow. You put that capacitor way up there and you can shoot for days. So let's take a look at some of the other firepower we have on the Asgard. We have the side turrets. These are useless. I've never even been able to kill somebody with one of these, but they're there. Again, role-playing is a major part of this game. We have the front bottom turret, which is pretty much the same as the Valkyrie. And while the turret can only see underneath the ship, it has really good visibility, and I have to applaud SIG for not nerfing this turret by making the sides opaque. They have a habit of, if they're afraid a turret is too powerful, they'll make the sides enclosed so you can only see out the center strip. So I'm really glad this is all glass, and we have great peripheral vision with this one. Next up, we'll take a look at the weapons on the old Valkyrie. And it appears that the pilot only has control over 4 repeaters. And the side door guns and the bottom turret are the same. So really, I'm just going to mention that these side remote gunner seats have been removed, and they do not exist in the Asgard. And I'm okay with that, because just controlling one small repeater isn't rewarding as a turret gunner. And in the Asgard, the pilot gets 2 more repeaters. Also, major change, this top turret is gone. This top turret does not exist in the Asgard. And again, I'm okay with that because it was ineffective. You could not even see over the dashboard. So they got rid of the side remote gunner seats and the top turret, all 3 of which were ineffective for the most part. I'm a little bit worried about the Valkyrie's position in the game now, considering without a gold standard pass, it still has problems like no dedicated buttons for opening things and having to know exactly where to interact with the ramp. We've all had friends who've gotten on a Freelancer or a Valk and not known how to get off because they don't know exactly where to stand to find that magic button. With the Asgard, everything is gold standard and the buttons are physical. So let's actually go out into space and do some combat. This is one of the Foxwell patrol missions. I'm super excited about the Asgard because I kind of feel like Sig finally realized the Valkyrie was a failed concept. A ship with a crew for 5 and amenities for 5, yet the back really isn't big enough to do that much with. And if it's a dedicated troop transport, then why even bother having the back area? But if you want to bring some cargo, there just wasn't enough space. The weapons were weird and ineffective, so I feel like with the Asgard, Sig is saying, we're going to make a ship that's really efficient. There isn't going to be any wasted space in it. It's going to be able to drop off a few people. It's going to have a massive cargo area. All the grid is usable. And the pilot is going to have access to amazing weapons. And it's just going to have 2 bunks. So it is kind of a daily driver now. And I'm kind of excited about that because we just got the Starlancer TAC recently also, and people are like, well, the TAC's going to be my new daily driver. And I'm like, no, the TAC is like 66% wasted space. So I think when it comes to daily drivers, I think you might want to take a look at Asgard. It looks pretty cool, and I'm excited for it. It doesn't have a med bed though, so if you die, in a bunker, you're not going to be respawning in it. But other than that, it's kind of got everything. It can carry a Nova tank apparently, so it's got some cool things going on there. If you have a Valk, you may be wanting to now melt it and use the credit to buy this thing. Unfortunately, if you do want LTI, Sig needs you to come up with some fresh money. Hope you found this useful, and if you did, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the verse.